Hi, this is the Teaserking coming to you for week ending October the 19th, 2010 with my game of the week. You can go to my site and chat with me. You can go to the site and buy my locks, just look at my trends and history and things like that. www.Teaserking.com. I'm going to the Big Ten for my game of the week, and we're going to Michigan State. Illinois is playing Michigan State. Michigan State's a 7-point favorite there. I love Michigan State laying 1. I know there's the letdown and there's the sandwich game that we have to worry about here. Michigan State played Michigan and beat them pretty handily, and then they got Iowa. I think that's in 2 weeks, Iowa. But they have Iowa coming up, which is their big game. But this game's at home. Unlike Alabama, who beat Florida and then went to South Carolina, this is Michigan State beating Michigan, and now they're at home. I just find that this team is solid all the way around. Strong defensively, strong offensively, great kickers, well coached, good defensive team. I don't think you have letdowns as much with defensive teams and good running games. I think that the times that you have the letdown is when you have the quarterback, it's a passing team, and he throws a bunch of interceptions or sacks. Michigan State's very well balanced, so you don't see that happening. Illinois, I don't find is all that good. They got beat by a decent Missouri team, not a great Missouri team, on a neutral site. And then they played Ohio State fairly well, but Terrell Pryor got hurt during the game, just running and falling down, which kept that game close. They still beat them by 10, and that was at home. The Penn State game, again, it goes back to Penn State having a freshman quarterback. And this is why you can't count that the win is like they beat last year's Penn State team, who was a top 10 team. Just because it's Penn State, that's the brand, but doesn't mean they're always a top 5, top 10 team. With a freshman quarterback, they're not good. They had an interception return for a touchdown. The kid was like 8 of 21. So, yeah, Illinois could play a different style, but again, they're not going to face a freshman quarterback this week. They're going to face much better runners than Ohio State has and or Penn State has, as well as the two-dimensional, and the defense stronger than Penn State's, not as strong as Ohio State's. I think Ohio State's got a better defense. The matchup, Michigan State's won the last 2 or 3 games. Pardon me, I should have had this open already. Michigan State matches up very well with them, and I'm so sorry. Michigan State won, beat them by 10 at Illinois last year, and I think they haven't played them since 2006. So they played them last year and beat them by 10 at Illinois. So there's the matchup of that style. And then if we go head-to-head and we just look at the teaser trends, Michigan State's very well in the teasers. This year they're 4-1. They're 6-1 since 09 as a home favorite, 13-4 overall. 12-1 as a home favorite since 08, 24-6, which is 80% overall. And they fall off in 07 and 06. So since 08, they're 12-1 as a home favorite. It's a very strong team that does very well at home. To go against them, you could be 10-3 against as a home favorite, and also 6-1 if you go against them. So they're 6-1 since 09 if you play them or play against them, which means they play very strong at home, but they don't blow out at home. They'll win by 7 to 10 points or close to the spread, And you got to look differently, conference versus non-conference. Non-conference, they do play Notre Dame, and then they'll play, Central Michigan or Western Michigan, things like that, which are very strong teams. Don't get me wrong, but that's a couple of their home wins. So they're very strong against the number. If we look at Illinois as a road dog, Illinois 5-1 as a road dog since 09, 8-1 as a road dog since 08. And 13-3 as a road dog since 06. They're a very strong road dog, obviously. And I include a road dog if they play the neutral game against Missouri and/or a bowl game. Those are road games, so I treat the road favorite and the road dog. There's no home team when they play that. If you go against Illinois, 11-3 overall since 09. 19-5 against since 08. This year Illinois I have them 2-1 against, 3-0 with. I don't really count when they play these Southern Illinois and East Iowas and the spread's 40. I don't count that. That to me isn't worth doing the trends. I want to see them against stronger competition. So the trends are pretty even. Michigan State's a very good home team, very good. You could go against them, and Illinois is a good dog. But I like that Michigan, they're only laying 7, so you cut them to 1. And I just find with the momentum they have and the balance of what I'm seeing, and they beat Wisconsin, who I think is overrated. I don't think they're that strong this year. They beat them, and then they beat Michigan, who's another good running team. But I don't think Illinois is as strong as that. I don't see Illinois pulling the upset here. I don't think they're that strong. I don't like the fact their quarterback's more of a running quarterback, which they just saw in Michigan's Denard Robinson. And I don't think he serves the threat. And their defense, I don't find, is that strong either. That's going to stop Michigan State. I see Michigan State probably putting up over 30 here. Illinois probably in the low 20s. It'll be a good 10-point win for Michigan State, maybe a little bit more. We're only laying 1. I just love that we're laying 1. They came up with a lot of key turnovers last week. If you look at my video on Michigan, you'll see where I do say Michigan, did do some turnovers in the end zone. So it's not like Michigan State shut down Michigan last week. However, I do like their defense. I do like them at home, and I do like them in this matchup. I don't think Illinois' quarterback is going to give them the trouble, and therefore the matchup I don't find to be there. So I really like Michigan State laying the 1. Absolutely a great play. A couple other plays I won't get into full length on. Florida is at home against Mississippi State laying 7. You can cut them to 1. I just can't see Urban Meyer and Florida losing 3 straight, and especially at home losing 2 straight at home. They get Jeffrey Demps back, which is huge because they are a speed team. And Mississippi State has been putting up some good offensive numbers, but I just don't see Florida losing 3 straight. This is their season. They can't lose this game. They will be on fire. They might lose it, but anything can happen. But absolutely love Florida in that game, laying the 1 point at home against Mississippi State. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a good one. And I'll give one other one. Ohio State is laying 4 at Wisconsin, maybe 4.5. And I really like Ohio State getting the 1.5 points. First of all, Wisconsin does not look that strong to me. They barely beat San Jose State, which I thought was a joke. I mean, San Jose State's terrible this year, and they barely beat them at home. They did go to Vegas and win, but everybody's beating Vegas. And then they basically lost them at Michigan State. And yeah, I know they beat Minnesota and did the 2-point conversion. He's going to need the points there, but this is almost like a Boise State game where Boise, everybody says they get up for the one game. They get up for Virginia Tech, or they get up for the Oregon or Oregon State. Well, this is Ohio State's playing Boise State now. Who have they gotten up for? They beat Miami handily. And I look at them here. This is their big game. They got Wisconsin, then they got Iowa, and then they got Michigan. And basically, they'll be focused. They're number one. They play very well. They have the good defense, the good running attack, Terrell Pryor. I just think they're a better team than Wisconsin. I think the spread's low because the game's at Wisconsin. And I certainly look for Ohio State to win this game without a problem. It's a cheap line, too cheap. And so those are my three. You got Michigan State, you got Florida, and you got Ohio State. These other teams, this is the money games. This is why the coaches get their money. And I don't see Ohio State losing this game. I just don't see Wisconsin having that. You know, they're just not that strong. I think Iowa can beat Ohio State. I don't think Wisconsin can. Another game just to talk about is Nebraska laying 10 to Texas. That spread's too high. That spread's like the Stanford laying 10 to USC last week. It's just too high. Nebraska's a very good team, but I don't think they face the speed on defense that Martinez, their quarterback, who's running wild, is going to see here. I just don't believe that Texas is going to let this guy run for 5 touchdowns and 200 yards. Sort of like Denard Robinson at Michigan State. He had like 80 yards on 20 carries, but he's not going to go for 300. I don't see Texas letting Martinez go, and I don't see Martinez. He can't throw the ball. So, you know, Texas doesn't win the Big 12, 8 years out of 10 without having a real good defense and a really good coach. So I think they stack the line, they take Martinez away, make him be a passer, and he's not a passer, he's a freshman. Let's remember the freshman quarterback rule. And Texas will find a way. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I don't know, the first team to 20 wins. But let's see, you got 10 points in Texas, you can kick that up to 16. I don't know if Nebraska will get to 16, honestly. I don't think Texas will either. But if we use a case in point, if we look at the Oklahoma game, Texas lost 28-20 and fumbled the punt, or they could have went in and tied the game up. Point being that Texas is not that bad. I know they got killed by UCLA, but they're not that bad. And you got to understand, the coaches and the players know they're 10-point underdogs. Don't kid yourself. They know they're underdogs, and because they know they're underdogs, they will be fired up. And Nebraska, on the other hand, is going, how the hell can we be 10-point favorites over Texas? And they will, I don't know how comfortable they are being 10-point favorites. I will be shocked if Nebraska wins by more than 14. I'll be shocked if they really win by more than 10. I can't tell you the final, maybe a 21-20 game, 20-14, something like that, but use the psychology here. They're going to take away Martinez, and this will be a low-scoring game. And I know Nebraska's got a good defense, but so does Oklahoma. And Texas found a way to score 20 on them. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. I'm looking forward to it. I have 3 or 4 really strong locks going, not including the plays I just gave you. You can go to the site for the free plays. I believe that's Air Force and Florida are my free plays this week. You gotta love Air Force. They're like religion. They cover every week. They're a beautiful team. Anyway, please go to the site www.Teaserking.com. Look at my history. You can tell what I say is what I do. And I hope you have a great week. And good luck to you. And take care.